Hello young builders, I hope you all are doing fine. My name is Sahil Naik, the student of GVM's Dr. Dadaved College of Education, and today I am going to share some information on biodiversity of India along with Abhishek, Veera, Sonika and Anusuya. Our planet's diverse ecosystem may seem like permanent fixtures, but they may collapse at any time. Jungle can become deserts, reefs can become some lifeless rocks, even without catastrophic events like volcanoes and asteroids. So, what makes one ecosystem strong and another weak in the face of change? The answer to this question is biodiversity. What is biodiversity? It defines variety of life on Earth as well as the communities that they form and habitats in which they live. Variety of life forms are found in a particular region. Over 1.7 to 1.8 million organisms are present on Earth. These organisms are different from each other in shape, color, size, pattern, internal structure, habitat, nutrition, behavior, and physical appearance. India is only country in the world with such native population of both Bengal tigers and Asiatic lions. India is just 2% of the world's land mass, but it is a home to 8% of world's biodiversity. India is sharing 12.53% of the world's biodiversity. India occupies 2.47% of the world's geographical area and has only 1% of the forests. Now, talking about the forests, there are 16 types of forests which are found in India, including the evergreen tropical rainforest, the dry alpine scrub forest, the deciduous monsoon forest, thorn forest, subtropical pine, and mangroves, and many more. The forest cover in India is 23.57%. Whenever a species disappears because of its weakened gene pool, a knot is untied and the parts of ecosystem is disintegrated. So, what if we were to remove one species from the rainforest? What if the tigers got extinct? Would the system fall apart? Probably not, right? The volume of the species, their genetic diversity, the complex ecosystem form such biodiversity that forests can stay resilient and recover from this change. But to recover from the change, it takes time. The life cycle is disturbed, right?
Let us move on to the flora and fauna in India. Flora in a nutshell refers to the plant life and fauna refers to the animal life. The territory of India represents a large sample of biodiversity. It is one of the 17 mega diverse countries in the world. The flora of India is one of the richest in the world. There are estimated to be over 16,000 species of flowering plants in India. 16,000 is quite a huge number. In India, there are 500 species of mammals, more than 200 species of birds, 30,000 different species of insects, and several varieties of fish, amphibians, and reptiles. Okay, flora and fauna are a part of ecosystem and they are dependent on each other for their survival. Besides, the ecosystem becomes imbalanced if there are any adverse effects on flora and fauna, such as extinction of species. Extinction refers to the particular species being vanished off completely. Okay, let us see what are endangered species and what are endangered and endemic species. The endangered species are those living species which are almost on the verge of extinction. That is, they are less in number, and if not conserved properly, it will be extinct. Now, there are thousands of species of plants and animals which are endangered, and the number of this endangered species is increasing every year. The endemic species. Now, these species are the species which are found only in a particular geographical region because of its isolation, soil, and climatic condition. That means the species cannot be found are only cannot or are only found in a particular area and not anywhere else in the world. Now let us see the examples of endemic species. Okay, let us see first the endemic fauna of India. The black bug. Black bug is only found in Punjab, Rajasthan, and Haryana. The purple pig-faced frog is found only in Western Ghats. The Nilgiri marten is found in Western Ghats. White drum vulture is found in Western Ghats. The laughing thrush in Kurg, the lion-tailed macaque in Western Ghats, the pygmy hawk in Assam, the Malabar civet in Kerala and Karnataka, Kashmir stag in Kashmir, Shanghai deer in Manipur, one-horned rhinoceros in Western Ghats, Bedouin's toad in Western Ghats. You can see that the Western Ghat is very rich in this endemic species. That is, these organisms or the species are only found in Western Ghats. Now let us see the endemic flora of India. First is the Ferrea indica, which is found only in Western Ghats. Then the pitcher plant found only in Meghalayas, Sapria himalayana found in Arunachal Pradesh, and Campotrichia indica in Maharashtra and Karnataka. Okay, now let us have a look at the endangered fauna of India. Amur leopard, hornbill turtle, leatherback turtle, Cross River gorilla, Sumatran tiger, Javan rhino. Now these species are under the threat and are endangered because of poaching, killing, hunting, and using this flesh of these organism or species for making purses, leather bags, etc. Similarly, endangered flora of India, Vanda victi, rhododendron macaw, Phaeophyllum pallidum, and flame lily. This flame lily is the one which is found in Goa. Okay, so you can see the organisms, the species which are endangered and endemic. Now this species become endemic or become endangered because of hunting, killing, poaching, habitat loss, deforestation, pollution. So these are all the reasons for an organism or species to become endangered.
So now let us see what do we mean by biodiversity hotspot. Region with a significant reservoir of biodiversity that is under threat from humans. So what region is to be called as biodiversity hotspot or to be qualified as a biodiversity hotspot? So to qualify as a biodiversity hotspot, there are two factors. The first factor is the region must contain at least 0.5% of vascular plant as endemic, and the second point, it has to at least have lost 70% of its primary vegetation. So there are two biodiversity hotspots which are present in India. So the first one is Western Ghats. Western Ghats, the Sahyadri range, is one of the latest addition to the list of biodiversity hotspots in India. There are over 7,000 plant species in the Western Ghats, of which are about 5,600 are endemic. The endangered includes Nilgiri tahar, lion-tailed macaw, parakeets, laughing thrush birds, and many more flora and fauna.
Did you know that India has 18 biosphere reserves, out of which 11 are a part of the World Network of Biosphere Reserves, recognized globally as important areas of biodiversity? But what exactly are biodiversity reserves and how are they different from our national parks and wildlife sanctuaries? Biosphere reserves are areas of biodiversity where not only flora and fauna but human settlements that are closely dependent on the nature for their survival are protected. In short, it's a natural habitat where national parks or wildlife sanctuaries along with the buffer zones are protected. In India, we have 18 such biosphere reserves, and exploring them go beyond just exploring the national park they host. So the first biosphere reserve in India is the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, which was established in the year 1986. The largest biosphere reserve of India is Gulf of Mannar, and the smallest biosphere reserve is Panna. So, what are the functions of biosphere reserves? There are three functions of biosphere reserves. The first one is conservation. It conserves genetic resources, species, ecosystems, and landscape. The second one is developmental function. It promotes sustainable human and economic development. Third one is the logistic support. It provides support for research and analyzing the issues of conservation and sustainable development. Talking about the sacred groves, the sacred groves comprises of patches of green forest or natural vegetation that are usually dedicated to local folk deities. The sacred groves are important repositories of flora and fauna diversity that are conserved by local communities in a sustainable manner. A strong concentration of these groves are found in Himachal Pradesh and Kerala. According to these protections, hunting and deforestation in these areas are banned, but activities such as honey and deadwood collection are allowed in sustainable manner. The groves are often associated with ponds, streams, or springs, which help meet the water requirements of local people. It also helps in the recharging the aquifers. This directly leads to protection of the aquatic flora and fauna. These are the list of some sacred groves that is found in India.
Next, we are going to see the importance of biodiversity. Biodiversity boosts ecosystem productivity where each species, no matter how small, all have an important role to play. A healthy biodiversity provides a number of natural services for everyone. Here we can see a number of services the biodiversity provides us. Biodiversity produces a number of products harvested from nature and sold in commercial markets. Indirectly, it provides economic benefits to people, which include water quality, soil protection, equalization of climate, environmental monitoring, scientific research, and recreation. The loss of biodiversity indirectly influences the social life of the country, possibly through influencing ecosystem function. This be easily understood by observing detrimental effects of global warming and acid rain which cause an unfavorable alteration in logical processes. Biodiversity gives aesthetic values such as refreshing fragrance of the flowers, taste of the berries, softness of moss, melodious songs of birds, compel the human beings to preserve them. Similarly, botanical and zoological gardens are means of biodiversity conservation and are of aesthetic values. Biodiversity holds great ecological value because it is indispensable to maintain the ecological balance. Any disturbance in the delicately fabricated ecological balance maintained by different organisms will lead to severe problems which may threaten the survival of human beings. So, next, we are going to see the causes of biodiversity loss in India. The first cause is the escalating human population. This is the main root cause of biodiversity loss. Humans uses resources as fuel, wood, fodder, inputs in industries and converts natural landscape for agriculture and various other purposes which eventually lead to loss of biodiversity. In a developing country like India, the patterns and causes of habitat destruction which is a prime cause of biodiversity loss, are linked to ever increasing pressure of human population together with their domestic animals associated with other developmental activities for better living of mankind. Second is habitat destruction and fragmentation. Now, habitat destruction and fragmentation are considered as prime reasons of biodiversity loss and is generally called deforestation. Deforestation is generally of two types. One, decrease of forest land, that is, conversion of forest land into other land uses, and second, decrease in the tree density due to cutting of selective tree species. Although habitat may be degraded, modified, or merely eliminated, but it is more commonly devastated by human activities. This process is more common in a developing country like India. Third cause is overuse of natural resources. Hunting and harvesting of wild plants and animals is needed for survival of man. As long as the human population was small and the methods of collection were primitive, people could harvest the plants and animals in a sustainable manner. But increased human population has led to almost complete depletion of large animals from biological communities, leaving habitat empty. Fourth one, we can see impact of non-native or exotic species. Now, non-native plants are referred to as exotic or alien species. Now, these plants have been introduced to an area from their native range either purposefully or accidentally. The term non-native usually refers to plants from other countries, regions, or continents. The introduction of exotic species into some areas has devastating impacts on the native biodiversity. Native species most vulnerable to impact of exotic species introduction are those which have evolved in isolation from high level of competition and predation. Fifth cause of biodiversity loss in India is climate change. Climate change is a significant driving force behind the loss of genus, species, and critical ecosystem services. There are some close relations between climate change and biodiversity. High temperature trigger early flowering. This could affect interaction with other species that depend on flowering plants. Coral reef mortality increases and erosion is accelerated due to increasing temperature. Sea level rise due to global warming will result in disappearance of low-lying areas and further to extinction of island species. And the last one is natural calamities. Natural calamities such as floods, landslides, volcanoes are also responsible for depletion of biological diversity. Now, you have to think, which side are you on? Development at the cost of our nature or conservation of our beautiful and valuable biodiversity? Thank you everyone.